Romans 4:17. And God calls things that are not seen as though they were seen, and the unseen becomes seen. We're talking about the power of imagination, calling things into existence, calling reality into existence by the word of by the power of imagination. Today I shall be sharing with you my most powerful manifestation technique, which is the power of imagination. For imagination to me is God in action. Imagination is the garden of God, the workshop of God where all creation happens. So what I do is I ask of myself, what do I desire? What's my desire? What I would like to manifest and create in life? And then I make a prayer to the Lord, and I ask of the Lord of my desire. And when I do this, I seek no man's permission, whether my desire is right, wrong, materialistic right, ethically right or wrong, spiritually right or wrong. It's between me and God, nothing else. I consult no person, because the world around us, 98% of the world around us is dead, living from a very low level of consciousness. So we can never seek advice from people around us. So when I make this prayer and I pray to God and I ask of my desire, once I make the prayer, I believe it is mine. Mark 11:24. Therefore I tell you, whatever you pray for, believe it is yours and it shall be given unto you. Holy Scriptures, the Holy Bible. So I believe that what I have asked of the Lord is already mine. But when I open my eyes, I don't see my desire around me. I don't see the thing that I prayed for is around me in the physical world. So what I do is, every night before sleeping, when I lay into my bed with a calm mind, I once again say a small prayer, and then I just relax, and then I close my eyes and I go into my mind's eye. I go into my imagination and I create a scene. I create a script which implies that my desire is already true, which basically means is that I live a scene, seeing my desire, listening to a voice, maybe of a loved one, of a dear person, of a friend, telling me that my desire is already true. Maybe even smelling a certain fragrance, maybe it is showing that I'm in a certain land, in a certain country, or even tasting some kind of food or whatever. So what I'm doing is I'm using my 5 senses in my imagination and living that scene, that movie, that script, that my desire is already real. And when I do this, I don't see myself as an onlooker. I see myself as a partaker, which basically means is I don't see myself, like I don't see Sushant SK standing. I live that scene from my eyes, my mind's eye. Like right now I can see this phone, I can see this table, I can see my hands while I make this video. The same way I live, the same way that scene, and I believe it to be real. Because only if you just imagine, if you just see, you just visualize, it's only like daydreaming. We need to believe it's already real. So I feel as if what I am looking at, what I am imagining, what I am creating is already real. And in that emotion, in that vision, I just go off to sleep. And after that, I do nothing. And then the inevitable happens. The inevitable is that I would resurrect it. I would resurrect it and it would appear on the screen of space. And then the world would see it and call it real. And if I tell them that happened, it happened because I simply imagined it, of course they wouldn't believe it, and it hardly matters. No one needs to believe you. No one can stop me from imagining. I can imagine whatever I desire. You can do anything to me, but you cannot stop me from imagining, because imagination is power of God in me. How can anyone stop the power of God in me? So I imagine, I resurrect it, and I manifest it, and it appears in the physical world. And then the world would point towards the series of events, like in the physical life, a certain situation, a certain circumstance, a certain opportunity, or a certain person, people, that because of this opportunity, person, people, event, whatever, this happened in your life. And they would give causation to that physical event. But the causation is God. The causation is your imagination. The causation is God, and God is invisible to mortal eye. So we can never see the true causation. So in the last 2 to 3 years of my life, I've applied this, and this has always worked for me, because it always will, because this is the power of God within us, and the power of God always works. God never fails. It always works. For when I made the prayer and I believe that it's already mine, it's true, I assumed my desire fulfilled. And though my assumption at the moment may be denied by my senses, what I see, what I hear, what I smell, taste, touch, or by reason, but if I stick to my assumption, if I stick to my belief and faith, it will always resurrect and manifest in my life. And this, I believe, is the resurrective power of Christ within me, the resurrective power of the Lord within me, which will always manifest and create whatever I desire and ask of the Lord. The power of imagination is God in action. As the Holy Bible says, Romans 4:17, and God calls things that are not seen as though they were seen, and the unseen becomes seen. We're talking about the power of imagination, calling things into existence, calling reality into existence by the word of by the power of imagination, by the power of words, the power of energy. It's all God's power. Imagination is my most powerful manifestation technique. And the more I work on it, the better I keep getting better at it. And the more I'm able to tap into the Lord's power within me to manifest, resurrect, and create everything I desire in life. For this is the resurrective power of the Lord within me. Have a lovely day, guys.